Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Victoria and I make content about my life in Edinburgh and Scotland as a content creator and photographer. And today's going to be a very quick one. I'm taking you for an exclusive press preview and a chat with people who are responsible for making the Edinburgh Military Tattoo what it is. We're going to the Edinburgh National Museum, to the rooftop, to chat with the people who are behind this year's performance, because Edinburgh Military Tattoo is one of my absolute favourite things about Edinburgh Fringe, which is coming up this summer. So it's really nice to be able to be invited to such a gorgeous event. So I'll take you along with me and show you what's behind the scenes. And I'm very proud of my outfit today. It's full on nobody's child outfit with my Coach loafers, and I think, well, this vest deserves its own recognition because I've been looking for a perfect vest for such a long time. So this is what she looks like, and then I'm going to show you my trousers, which I'm actually not too sure about. Okay, so here's the outfit on how it looks like from the front. I feel like this is genuinely given 80s or something, but it's something new for me, so let me know what you think. This is just a Stradivarius jacket on top of this. Let me know what you think and if these trousers are too much or not. Unfortunately this year I did not manage to see meadows blossom, and as you can see it's all nearly gone all the way at the end there. Maybe next year, but I've seen it every year before that, and I've seen some other gorgeous blossom. A little sad, but yeah. A little sad that I didn't get to see it, but it's fine. You know, I'm sure I can be here again next year. The weather is nice today. I hope it just won't be too cold at the rooftop of the National Museum, but we will see. And it has the most stunning view of the Edinburgh Castle, a perspective that some of you might not have seen, so I will show you around.
I'm the Chief Executive, and I couldn't be more thrilled to be here today at the backdrop of the castle there, which you see our stands going up, which is really, really fun. We're going to get into the show a little bit, over to Alan and the team, and we'll give you a bit of a taster about what we're going to see come this August, so I'll leave it to them on that. But before I begin and talk a little bit about that, but also where the tattoo is heading, I want to also acknowledge and welcome our charity partners that are here today. That is the embodiment of really what the tattoo is, and they embody what we do as far as our giving goes. It's at the heart of the tattoo. It's the thing that I always want to speak about first, because I don't think people recognize or know that enough. Now about the show, our 75th, the heroes who made us. And here we are on the eve of VE Day, right? And how appropriate is that, that we talk about heroes. And certainly 80 years ago, where uncommon valor was a common virtue. And so what does the heroes and the heroes who made us mean as far as the show goes? Well, it means that. It means us being able to acknowledge those who serve, but also heroic behavior in our communities. Those that are heroes on every day, whether it be to families or whether it be to schools or whatever the case may be. So it's an opportunity really for us to be able to reflect on those that give back as we go forward. So from that, it is an enhancement of what we do as well. And I'll talk a little bit about the strategy and where we go forward. Enhancement is one of those. And that's not only enhancing what we do creatively, which Alan will talk about, but also enhancing the customer experience everywhere. And so that's part of that strategy. The other part of our strategy is how do we diversify? How do we do more than just what we do up on the Esplanade? And can we take the tattoo other places? There's been questions about the tattoo as a stage proposition, and that's fun for us to think about and explore as we go forward. The other part of our strategy is growth, doing more. We will do 4 full-scale tattoos between August 25 and August 26. Certainly the two that we'll do in Edinburgh here, but also we will be in Brisbane in February 26th and also in Auckland. And so that growth aspect of it. And then the other pillar of our strategy is internationalizing. And what we are considered, which we enjoy and have been for quite some time, is a soft power, soft diplomacy engagement platform for the government. And we get asked those questions whether we go to America and we represent UK abroad. That's good, and I think it's good for us that we provide that platform and as we go forward, and we will continue to do that. But now, over to Alan, busiest man in show business, who's going to tell you more about the show.
I'm super excited to be able to share with you today some of the music from this year's show, but also some of the stories behind that music. Now, we rehearse the show every year in a very short amount of time in July, but the preparation is meticulous. And even as we sit here now, the brilliant production and operations and creative team is working and getting things ready for our international partners for their arrival and for our performers here. So I wanted to share some of the stories of music, and in order to do that, we need some musicians. And so we have some of the musicians from the Scots band this morning. We have Mr. Blamey on keys, Corporal Masenko on the violin, Lance Corporal Emberson on the accordion, and Lance Corporal Hamilton on percussion. Thank you so much for being here. I know there are a lot of demands on your time, and I heard them in rehearsals, and they're great. So that's something to look forward to. Each year, a different service leads the tattoo. And in our first year, 75 years ago, it was the Army, and so it's entirely fitting that this year we are also, the lead service is also the Army. So it's really exciting that you could be here today. Because the heroes who made us, the show talks about two types of heroes. And the first, as Jason was alluding to, the first are the heroes of 75 years of shows. So the military musicians, our volunteers and tattoo performers, the castle, our always dramatic eternal backdrop, the Scottish weather who plays its own part in the show, our audiences, our international guest acts, and even Edinburgh herself. And we will celebrate those heroes in our show. But we are also celebrating a different type of hero, as Jason said, those who turn our society into communities, those who by their volunteering, by the standard of their behaviour, the example they set, are heroes in our everyday lives, who touch each and every one of us and just makes the sheer being alive just slightly better than it was before they intervened. And I can't think of a better time to celebrate that type of local community hero than now, and I'm really excited that that's one of the main things of our show. We choose the tunes in the show for a whole host of reasons, as you can imagine, but there are some tunes that come to us with stories that commemorate real life events that are so powerful that it's impossible to ignore them. Especially if you're a show that not only prides itself on the stories we tell, but also on ensuring that we are commemorating and remembering those things that need to be honoured. And this next tune is one of those. The 74th Slow March has an amazing story behind it, an important story behind it, and I want to tell you that story before we hear a piece of the music. In February 1852, HMS Birkenhead were taking troops alongside women and children to South Africa, and it hit a submerged rock off the coast of Cape Town and began to break up. Lieutenant Colonel Seaton of the 74th Foot took charge of all the military personnel and stressed the necessity of maintaining order and discipline to his officers. Now, the soldiers loaded the women and children onto the serviceable lifeboats, but there weren't enough lifeboats for everybody. And just before she sank, the captain of the boat, Captain Robert Salmon, called out that all those who can swim jump overboard and make for the boats. But the Colonel Seaton, he understood that if they rushed the lifeboats, they'd tip them over and they would endanger the women and children. And so he ordered his men to stand fast. And they did so, in total calm. And they went down with the boat. And it was reported of the approximately 643 people aboard, only 193 were saved. But amongst that number, every woman and child. Stand fast the men, women and children to the lifeboats would become known as the Birkenhead drill and the standard of honourable behaviour in such conditions. Now, Rudyard Kipling, the poet, made the men of the Birkenhead and their gallantry eternal in his poem entitled Soldier and Sailor Too. But to stand and be still to the Birkenhead drill is a damn tough bullet to chew. The soldiers here today playing are in a unit whose antecedents are the 74th. It's one of the things I love about the British Army. It remembers. And so it's entirely fitting that we're going to hear a short excerpt now from the 74th Slow March. And it would be unthinkable to do such a thing without the collaboration of our international partners. And so it is that we've invited the Band of the Polish Border Guard, the US Old Guard Fife and Drums, and the Orchestra of the Naval Forces of Ukraine. Now, it's no small thing for our international partners to come and take part in the tattoo as it straddles not only the whole summer, but also summer leave. But for our Ukrainian partners, it is an effort of a different magnitude. I'm so excited about the diversity and range of the international music in this year's show. I am certain the audiences will enjoy hearing such different flavours. And so it is that the band now will play a short excerpt from the Ukrainian tune, which is called Fire from the Freedom. Ukrainian thing I've ever heard in my life. It's like stock key of Ukraine. Now, I don't know whether you've noticed what with the canvas shoes and the general waving of my hands around, but I'm a theatre director by trade. And whilst I absolutely love the music of the tattoo, and I have the best music team in show business led by Nick Grace and ably supported by Stevie Small over there, I am at my most comfortable when I can have a storyteller at the heart of things. I am at my most excited when I can have words on the esplanade. So it is with unbelievable excitement that I get to introduce to you today the actor who's going to be playing the role this year of Storyteller, Mr. Terence Rae. Terence, come up, buddy. Brilliant. So this is Terence. Terence, you're from Glasgow, yes. And I know the tattoo was part of your childhood. How exciting is it to be in the show in our 75th year?
It's unbelievable. It's a tremendous honour because it's a big part of my childhood as well. Me and my family used to watch it every year. So
on the telly box?
Yes, on the telly box. And they've got the tickets already. So
okay.
They cannot wait.
Coming through in a bus from Glasgow?
Yes.
Right, good. That's going to do something for our ticket sales. That's good. Right, brilliant. And which bit are you looking forward to the most? Because when I rang you to ask you about this role, you had one. Tell the people what the question was.
It's the top secret.
It's the top secret
going to be performing.
Yeah. The Swiss precision drummers are in the show this year, which I think is the only reason Terence said he would do it. They'll be pleased to know they've got a fan. But you remember them from when you were a kid?
Yeah, absolutely. They were always quite spellbinding when they performed, so yeah, that stuck with me. And I'm really excited about the hundreds of volunteer performers as well.
Because you've done some stuff with the National Theatre with big community like that act, not only of performing but also leading performers who come from all walks of life and who don't do this as a day job.
No, yeah, they've all got their wonderful stories to tell, and all of them are phenomenal characters. So no, I can't wait to meet the volunteers for this year.
Brilliant. Listen, I've worked with you for a long time. I know the audience are in for a real treat. We're going to hear more from you later, but thanks, buddy.
No,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
Thank you. That was dramatic. The tattoo's 75th anniversary isn't the only important date in the city. Of course, the city herself is 900 years old, and we have a special dance scene in the show this year to celebrate that, and also to just commemorate the kind of impact this city and its thinking's had on the world more broadly. And so we're going to hear a piece from a tune called Killick and Duday now. The tattoo was created in the aftermath of the Second World War, part of the Army's contribution to the national effort to raise spirits post-war. And as I mentioned before, we're creating a new scene with our international partners to commemorate that anniversary. And as part of that scene, we're performing a section of the poem, The Listening Post, by the great contemporary poet Lem Sasay. Terence, can I ask you to come up and read an excerpt of the poem?
If you could hear at the listening post, all 80 years ahead, and be as you are the missing host, where light and darkness wed. Look what was sown by the stars, at night across the fields. We are not defined by our scars at all, but by the incredible ability to heal. Here are the past messages of the firstborn, the last words of the front, the first waves of springtide, where night bathes the sun.
So that's me, just back home after the lovely event this morning and a very short and sweet stroll around Edinburgh. I hope you enjoyed. coming to the backstage or say a press review of what Edinburgh Military Tattoo is going to be, I decided to just record the whole thing for you guys, honestly, just so you have a little background and a little bit of a view of what we often see as content creators in Edinburgh, supporting events and everything that's happening in Edinburgh as well. There's lots of amazing knowledge there, and we also got the sneak peek of the music, which was lovely. The part with the Ukrainian music honestly made me tear up. I was literally sitting there, I'm like, I'm not going to be the only one crying. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope you are looking forward to Edinburgh Military Tattoo this year if you're visiting. And if not, if there's one thing I have to say to you, if you're in Scotland and you're in Scotland in August, you absolutely must do Edinburgh Military Tattoo. I have now been twice. And I would absolutely go every single year because it's the event that's just the essence of Edinburgh, the essence of Scotland, and the amount of time it takes to create this. The work literally never stops. It starts for the next year as soon as this year finishes, basically. So just being able to experience this magic, I think it's absolutely beautiful. So thanks so much for coming with me once again. Leave your feedback, leave your comments, let me know if there's anything else you would like to see on my channel, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next time.